Today I'm making up a Christmas themed frame. To make this frame, you'll need some gold leaf. Now these sheets are artificial gold leaf. I've got these ones from Temu quite cheaply. I think it's about $3 and you get a 100 pack, quite a big amount of it. You also need some glue for applying the gold leaf. So it does have a special tacky glue that you use for that. And then you need a frame. It can be any size frame you like. This was an older frame that I had for another project that I'm going to reuse for this one here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go and paint some tacky glue around the outside of it, and then we'll apply the gold leaf. Now you don't need to use gold leaf for this project. You could easily do this one just with paint if you wanted to paint it up. I quite like the look of the gold leaf, especially if it's a Christmas type themed one. When we get to the inside of the frame and we're looking at the cardstock, you can use cardstock, pattern paper, whatever you choose as well. So when we get to that part, you've got choices there. Okay, so I'm applying it liberally, and it does, I will do down the sides as well, and then we'll have to leave this one sit for a little bit as it gets itself dried off. I have more than enough that fell out of the bottle when I first opened it to get me around this whole project. And then I might have to go wash my hands before I start touching up some of that glue because it has a tendency to want to go everywhere, which is also why I'm working on this piece of white paper, because as we get into it a little bit later, it'll be an easier way for me to move that glue, move the gold leaf to dispose of it, because it does tend to go everywhere. So yes, I did put a lot on. I might just get rid of some of that excess. All right, so I'm going to let that dry to get a bit tacky. If I have a look at the Express Gold instructions, it actually says use on paper, cardstock, textiles, timber, glass, ceramics, and many more surfaces. Apply a thin, even coat with a brush over the base coat. The base coat in this case was a bit of wash that I did, white paint wash. Allow 5 to 10 minutes curing time before applying the leaf. Once the size changes colour from white to clear, apply the metal leaf to the surface. Depending on the thickness of application, the open time is approximately 10 to 12 hours. The applied size is cured when the surface tack glue. Apply leaf to all applied areas as the size will remain tacky. So it is going to be quite tacky for some time. We won't need all of that time. All right, I'm going to go wash up and we'll come back in 5 to 10. All right, so our frame is now clear, very, very tacky. So it's time to start applying the gold leaf. So I think I'm just going to cut this into halves and try, because it can be really difficult to use this stuff, try to get it, oops, that's what I was saying, so that it can curve right over. If it does break off, it doesn't matter, you just put more bits over the top where it's tacky. But yeah, it's not the easiest stuff to work with, but it is a bit of fun. I'm probably going to need a few sheets to get around the outside of this. And there's no hurry because you do have plenty of time to work around. Like I said, this stuff is cheap as chips through Temu. Shein or whatever it's called has it as well. eBay. I think I got a whole bunch of this off eBay one time. All right, now I'm going to stop just there, and now I'm just going to press with this stiffer brush. And this will allow me to see where there might be areas that I need to come in and add some more gold leaf. Because if it's not sticking to the tacky glue, then it will just come off. So just going to go around the frame. All right. So let me get rid of this bit. And then with a smaller brush, a softer brush, I'm just going to go across and get rid of some of those smaller bits. I do this outside, but it's raining today. Again in Hobart, so I'm opting to, should have just done this over with a bit of paper, but anyway, doesn't matter. All right, so let me just do a bit of a tidy up and we'll come back to how we're going to fill this frame. All right, so there's our gold frame done, and now we want to put in some embellishment in the frame. So this is the existing old wooden part of the frame, and what I have done is I've taken some cuts of some pattern paper, and you can use letter stickers, or you could cut out some vinyl from your Cricut if you own a Cricut. I'm going to be using some old stash, which is some of these old rub-ons, and I'm going to rub on the letters onto this part here and attach that here with some embellishment as well. So I'm just going to trim that down a little bit so I see a bit more of that lovely green paper frame. I think this paper might be Stampin' Up, old Stampin' Up. So I'm just going to cut this down. I had cut it to just be sort of like 1/2 inch around the other piece, but I wanted to see that green a little bit more. So I think that might be good. So I'm just going to put the frame to the side and then work out what letters I'd like to cut from this and what saying I'm going to go with. So I've decided on bad or good, and the interesting thing about this is going to see if these rub-ons actually work. So with rub-ons, you should be able to just use a bone folder or another tool to kind of just rub gently over the surface of the letter. And these are from K&C Company. Sorry if the table's a bit shaky. I've had these for years. They probably don't even make these anymore. I don't know. I remember my dad having these when he was doing some lettering stuff way back. And then you can just pull up a corner and have a little bit of a peek. If it's not coming off, give it a bit more of a harder rub. Like I said, they might have a bit of a use by date, so I'm hoping that these work and I don't have to go and use letters, stickers, but that would work just as well. Okay, bits of it are coming off. All right, so I'm going to keep working at this so I don't shake the table too much and give you motion sickness. We'll come back once I've got all of those down. All right, so far so good. I used some of this ribbon that I got. It was $2.50 from the $2 shop that we have up the road. You can embellish whatever you want to put in the frame in your own way. I went with bad or good. The ribbons had a good old scrub on them. I might put some extra bits in this one. This is the frame. And let's have a look and see what that is looking like. I took the glass out of the frame. I don't want the glass to be on this one because then I can just change it out whenever I want it to be. But if that comes in like so, all right, that's looking pretty good so far. Happy with that. Probably just need to bling it up a little bit more. And I think I have just the thing. I'm going to do a little border of these rhinestones around the outside. And so I think that the rhinestones definitely made it there. Does it need any more bling? I don't know. I mean, I could put some sort of like gold nuggets on the side, but it might be a little bit of overkill. I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. I did think about greenery, but that kind of could work. If I cut some of this off. Make it look a little bit more Christmassy, maybe. We could try that. Okay. So there we have the bad or good. Happy with that. Thanks for sticking around and watching today's quick Christmas frame video. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to give a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more creating, and I will catch you in the next video.